Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. If you're listening to this right now, you're lucky because you're not going to miss the very first Ryan Day show of the season. The Buckeye head coach is standing by to give you all his thoughts going into the Week 1 3:30 home game versus Akron on Saturday. Here he was talking about that awesome duo in his offensive backfield the other day and how Trey Henderson and Quinshon Judkins will split things up.
I don't think Locke's decided that yet, but they're both rolling practice. It's we're going to get our money's worth this week with the heat, and so we're going to be rolling these guys pretty good, and James is going to get in there as well. So, we haven't really talked about that right now. Those guys are rolling, and they're both going to get a bunch of reps on Saturday.
We'll see if there's an update to that. In the NFL, the Browns have restructured Deshaun Watson's contract again, creating more than $35 million in cap space. This one is sponsored by Naturestone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. Remember, it's not just a floor. Wow, it's Naturestone.
From Learfield, this is the Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now, along with head coach Ryan Day and former OSU All-American Jim Lachey, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
And welcome to the first of many weekly radio shows with Ohio State head coach Ryan Day as the Buckeyes get ready to begin their 135th season of intercollegiate football, and they'll play host to Akron on Saturday, Jim. Certainly there's always big anticipations. There are seasons when the anticipation is bigger than others, but this might be a record level.
Yeah, it is, Paul. And, hey, it's season 135 for Ohio State football, so it's been going on a long time around here. And you're right, I think the excitement level is at, one of the highest that it's been. And, part of that's, every year it's kind of like that. But this year they were active in the transfer portal. We were able to bring in some key players, starting with quarterback Will Howard. Brought in Quinshon Judkins, another, great running back on that side of the ball. A new center. And Seth McLaughlin, and then brought in Caleb Downs, one of the best, safeties in America, as a freshman at 107 tackles last year for Alabama. So I think that added to the excitement. And then, all the guys deciding to come back, guys like Jack Sawyer, Tyleek Williams, Cody Simon coming back for another year, Yumika Buka on the offensive side. So when you kind of put that all together, and then you go out and get a new offensive coordinator, a name like Chip Kelly comes in. So I think that does kind of rile up the excitement. But, this first game, it seems like you're waiting for it all year long. Basically since the season's over, you want to get out there and play again. And, now we're just, a little over 2 days away from getting this thing started. So a lot of excitement for Ohio State.
There certainly is. The Buckeyes will host Akron on Saturday at Ohio Stadium. That'll be a 3:30 kickoff as the Buckeyes take on their in-state opponent. Coach Day, as always, thank you for your time. And certainly there has to be a level of excitement amongst players and coaches to transition into game week and then actual game day.
Yeah. We want to start fast. We want to start the season off on the right foot. It's been a long time to get to this game, and it's been a good preseason. It's been great competition. We've talked a lot about building a foundation for the entire season during the preseason. A big part of it was in the off season with Mick and spring football and then the summer, but preseason had to be physical, had to be hard. I think it was, and now we get into the first game, and I think when you go into the first game, there's assumptions that you've made that will be right, and ones that you've made that are going to be wrong. But I think the thing for me that's the most exciting here is you're going to have an opportunity to see some guys that you just haven't seen play in a real game before on the team, and then some other guys who you have seen, but they look a lot different than they did last year. So. I think everybody's fired up to play on Saturday.
Coach, you start with spring ball with excitement, kind of building up to this, and you go through all the summer conditioning workouts, and then you get to summer camp, and, when you get 20, 25 practices in. So you've had, 40-plus practices plus all these workouts for this first game and for the season. But it seems like this first game you got to wait for a long time. And then once you get into that first game, you get into game week, the season starts to fly by.
Yeah, it does. And, when you say it, after Saturday we'll only have 11 regular season games, and they go very, very fast. In the game of football, you just don't have a lot of those opportunities. So, we are going to respect every single opponent we play. But you've heard us say it before, it's about the standard that we set, and the standard for us is we want to be the hardest playing team in the country. We want to grade out over 80% across the board. And if we do that, we're going to win a lot of games.
If you would kind of go through what you talked with us about before about making things uncomfortable as you get guys ready for the season.
Well, there's adversity coming, and that's just the way football is, and you want to make it harder in practice than it is in the game, and so you try to do everything you possibly can, and based on what you're trying to get done that day, you put the offense in a second and long situation, or you put the defense into a situation where it's a challenge. You set up a play against the coverage that's designed well, and you put the stress on those guys. But then also just the way practice goes and the number of plays, and you want to start fast, but you also want to finish strong in practice. And we've done that. I feel like we've had some long practices. Guys have been physical and making sure that we finish off the practice the right way. And sometimes when you look at the output from Mick in sports science, there's quite a bit more exertion in a practice than there actually is in a game, and that's good. That's the way we want it.
Coach, you get to that first game, you name all your starters on both sides of the ball, but the backup's got to be ready. I mean, I go back to my freshman year. I was a backup offensive guard, and I was the backup on the punt team. And all of a sudden, Benny Lee gets hurt, he gets a concussion, and boom, I'm in there. I'm on punt. Now you're playing. Now you're active. Before, it just happens so fast. They go, okay, I'm just going to be sitting here. No, you got to be on, and you got to make sure your backups are even ready to go, because you just never know what's going to happen during the course of a football game.
That's it. And there's the physical part, but then there's also like that mental part that I think that you're mentioning there. And there's a time where you almost have like a second string mentality, a backup mentality. It's very, very different when you're thrust into that role, when you actually have to do it. And there's been a couple positions in particular in the offensive line this preseason that guys were into those situations. In the first few practices, it didn't look very good, but you quickly make the adjustments that you have to make because you have to. When you're blocking Ty Hamilton and Tyleek Williams, or JT and Jack, and you better figure it out fast, because they're not slowing down. And when you get forced into those roles, you find out about yourself and you improve quickly. And so we have to find as many ways we can do that here, in the early part of the season, so that we can build depth, because we know we're going to need depth, as we've all talked about, the style of the season and what comes with it. So we want our guys to get out there, play fast, but we're going to try to play as many guys as we can, based on the number of plays in this game. How it shakes out in this game in particular, I'm not sure, but I know that's a focus for us in the first half of the season. We want to get these guys reps and build depth.
If you have a question for Coach Day, you can submit them to our Union Home Mortgage inbox at OhioStateBuckeyes.com and click on Ryan Day Show inbox. Union Home Mortgage, the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com, an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home football game this season, with proceeds supporting community-based NIL opportunities and the Foundation charities. For more information on how you can participate, visit OSU5050.com. Saturday, Ohio State host Akron will be on the air with our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show beginning at 2 p.m. More of today's show presented by Roosters coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace. Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cheers to a great day and this ice-cold Corona.
You know what would make this day even better? My grandma's carne asada.
Or your grandma here with us, making carne asada.
She does love a cold Corona.
Throw in some dancing.
We can watch the game.
I'll drink to that.
So a backyard concert with football, food, dancing, and Corona?
And your grandma.
Or we could keep it simple.
Simple is good. Want a Corona?
Thanks. Salud to the perfect day.
Corona, la vida más fina. Get your Corona at ordercorona.com. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Import, Chicago, Illinois.
It is time to square off against overpriced family dinners with Donato's all-new bakery crust pizza. A square-cut, thicker bakery-style crust with smoked provolone cheese and Donato's fresh toppings, plus your choice of marinara, ranch, or garlic sauce for dipping. The crust is thicker, but the deal is the kicker. Right now, you can get 2 one-topping bakery crust pizzas for just $19.99. It's a whole lot of pizza for not a lot of dough. Order with the app or at Donatos.com.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye playoff game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for our Elk and Oak 2 Deep Report, presented by the Injury Lawyers at Elk and Oak. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Coach Day, you were talking about developing depth on the offensive line because of guys being in and out of practice at various times, but certainly with what is the anticipation of what could be a very long season, depth across the board has to be a priority.
Yeah, and we met as a staff the other day to talk about different things, and that kept coming up over and over again. You have the depth. So we got to work it, and guys got to step up in a big way, and it starts on special teams as you cut your teeth there, and then whether it's young guys or inexperienced guys or whatever it is, guys got to see themselves in that starting role. I think that's a big part of it. Like we were just talking about, the mindset that I want to be a starter, I need to be a starter, and I got to go in there and win a championship, for our unit, because you just never know when your number is going to get called, and so we got to put guys in those situations so that they're ready to go.
Coach, from observing some practices, I feel like you got depth at center, you got depth at guard, but having that depth at tackle, that's always key. And, you found maybe your third and fourth guy this year. I know George Fitzpatrick has been able to step up a little bit, and then Zen Mahalski, another young player, has been able to step up and provide some of that depth.
We need that, and we'll do different things in practice. We'll do scouts, we'll do good on good, as you've seen. And we'll go 1s versus 2s, 2s versus 1s. The good things in the 1s versus 2s, 2s versus 1s is Zen and George get to go against Jack. They get to go against JT. They get to go at Kenyatta, Mitch, Caden. I mean, they're getting that work every day. So we need both of those guys to continue to get better. I think they had good preseasons, but like you said, that's a critical part that we can't overlook.
And, you guys that are our second team got to look ahead of them. They got, if you got 5 guys on the offensive line, 4 in your defensive front, 8 of those 9 are seniors.
That's right.
Those guys have played a lot of football. They got a lot of experience with JT and Jack both deciding to come back. And, there's going to be some opportunities, for those guys to play. Tegler's, the youngest guy on that offense or of that group, and he's a junior.
Yeah. So, don't wait around.
Right.
You got to go. And that's one of the things, I think for some young players, it's like, well, they have a mindset that they want it all right now. And that has to be your mindset, knowing that along the way there's going to be ups and downs. And then I think some other guys, I'll kind of work my way into it. This thing goes so fast, man. It just does. I mean, before you know it, you're a senior and you're running out on senior day. So you cannot waste any day, and you have to have urgency in everything that you do.
Is the receiving group where some of the depth is most prominent?
Yeah. I think that there's depth at receiver. I think that Brian's done a nice job with 4, 5, 6. Trying to build that in there. We have seen a lot of that. So I think when you look at where Brandon's at, when you look at where Bryson's at, when you look at where Kojo has really come on, I've been impressed with him. He's going to be a guy that we're going to count on in special teams. All those guys are, because that's where you cut it. David Adolph has been able to step up. Jaden Ballard. So we need all those guys to be able to make an impact on the game and support that group.
One guy, kind of an outlier in that group, has been Jeremiah Smith. Coming in as a true freshman, and looks like he's going to start day one against Akron for the Buckeyes. Marvin Harrison, great wide receiver. We all witnessed that, what he was able to do 3 years here. He didn't really play a lot until the Rose Bowl, and that was, game 13.
Yeah.
To have the ability to come in here day one, and I was talking to Mick about that this week, what he was able to do competing to be an Iron Buckeye as a true freshman. I mean, there's just, they don't give those awards out to anybody. You got to go out there and earn that each and every day. And a lot of that's through competition and showing up and working extremely hard. And he was able to prove that to himself and the teammates.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to describe Jeremiah. You guys will get a chance to see him here real soon. But the thing that strikes me is the maturity. His mindset. From the jump. First off, his maturity, physically, you'll see that. But to me, it was the mindset. He's a very serious person who, when it's time to compete, he's going to compete. When it's time to, get in a meeting and focus, he's going to do that. I've been very, very impressed with his approach. Now it's time to get on the field. You guys will get a chance to see that. But what we've seen in practice is a mature young man who has a very high upside.
Speaking of maturity, is that something that Will Howard brings to the quarterback position?
Yes. Yeah, Will has command, and you feel it when you're on the field. And having the huddle now is great because that's something that we haven't used as much in the past, a little bit here and there. You guys remember some of the games we had used the huddle, but now with the coach-to-player communication, we're huddling more. And Jim, you remember the huddle it's just it sounds like something that happened like 20 years ago, but being in the huddle and a bunch of guys looking each other in the eye and talking about the situation and what happened the play before, and the quarterback looking everybody in the eye and talking about, we got to get this first down, or, hey, be aware of this on this next down. And everybody breaks the huddle together and gets lined up. It's not like you're playing slow. There's a different tempo to it. It's kind of like waves on a beach. It just keeps coming at you and coming at you. So we got to do a great job of getting back to the huddle, get lined up, or get in the huddle, break the huddle, get lined up to the line of scrimmage and run. We're not always going to be doing that, but it's given the quarterback an opportunity to take control of the offense, and I believe that Will's doing that.
Yeah, you got that 4 to 6 seconds during the play where you're going, as hard as you possibly can go. And then you got to come back to that huddle, and you kind of get recharged a little bit. Right. You're around your buddies, hey, great block or great run, and you get a chance to talk a little bit, get motivated, or I got this guy. Did you see what he did on that play? What are they doing on your side? So there's communication. Of course, when the quarterback comes in, he starts talking, all your eyes are on him and staring at his lips so you can get that next play, and then boom, ready break, you're out there and you're ready to do it again. And it is. You kind of get recharged a little bit when you have that huddle. And you don't do it all. I mean, everybody has tempo in their game plan. But, for 90% of the time or 80% of the time, you're in that huddle. And it's a good feeling, because you can talk with your guys. And, TV timeouts, which we know there's a bunch of during the course of a football game. You're sitting there, you're talking, you're looking, you can joke around a little bit. But it's all serious. Given the quarterback gets in there. Quarterbacks have got to be glued in all the time. But, you can kind of go back and forth, talk with your right tackle, talk with the right guard if you're to the left side. Just get your view on things.
Yeah, and just the communication that you just don't get when you're kind of lined up like that. And we'll change up the tempos, and we got to be able to handle that in the first game. And I know, Chip wants to play really clean in this first game. He wants to play really hard. And we say clean, obviously ball security. You're talking about pre-snap penalties. You're talking about playing hard to the whistle. You're talking about assignments. All those things that come with that. So, but again, part of that is going to be the different styles of tempo that we're going to handle, and coach to player communication is new, and the other part of it is tablets on the sideline, what that's going to look like, and how we've done that. We've had 2 practices or scrimmages in the stadium where we've gone through a mock game like this, and so we're ready to go. We're prepared, and now it's time to get on the field and go play.
From your standpoint, Coach, what's it like to have the 2 tailbacks and Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins to work with?
Both bring different things to the table, but both are very, very talented, and they've supported each other. They know they need each other. James Peoples has done a nice job there as being the third piece, and we're going to need him as well. We know that. I feel like Carlos Laughlin has just brought a different energy to the entire offense, and you guys will get a chance to be around him and see him more. But he's built a really good bond with everybody in that room, but also just a workman-like attitude right there, and it's rubbing off on all of them. And so I'm excited to see Trey a year later after his great offseason that he's had. I'm excited to see Quinshon run, excited to see James run in a game. So it's good. You get it on film and get it coached up and improve the things that are going, that aren't going well, and enhance the things that are going well.
Well, in our 27 years of doing the radio, I don't think we've ever seen a backfield with 71 combined touchdowns in it. I mean, that's rare air right there. Usually you got a dozen or maybe 14. But to have 71, it's incredible. And if I'm one of those backs, I'm looking at, hey, like you talked about, it's going to be a long year. So, instead of Junkins having 570-some carries at Ole Miss, he can, maybe only have 15, 20 versus having, the 25, 30-type carry game. So for both guys, it's going to help extend their playing careers by not taking as many hits. Your yardage might not be as high, but at the end of the day, it's good for you to be able to split that time. And you don't want to split the time if the guy's not equal. You know what I mean? You want to be out there and doing it. But if they're equal and they can play the same, then it's really going to pay off in the long run, not only here at Ohio State, but in the future maybe in the NFL.
Right. And I think both of these guys would tell you that, there'll be plenty of carries to go around. I mean, when it's all said and done and the season goes on, there'll be plenty of carries to go around. But what they want is, they both had stats before. They want to win.
Right.
They want to win. And, when both of these guys had an opportunity to get together in the offseason and talk about what this was going to look like, and, I was right in the middle of that, and we had great conversation. They knew that they needed, a counterpart in there. They needed that 1-2 punch because it is a long season. And so they've been very supportive of each other, and so it's going to be great. They're going to help each other out and work off of each other. And I think they give a different, change of pace when they're in there. And I'm excited to see what that feels and looks like on the field. And when you combine that with Will's ability in the run game to be a part of that, it's a game changer.
We'll start with some of our Union Home Mortgage inbox questions. Corey in Salisbury asking about something you were just talking about. What's it like working with Chip Kelly again and in this situation?
Yeah, it's been great. Chip has been just excellent since he's been here. And I'm just impressed with the chemistry of the offensive staff right now, and Chip's been a huge part of that. He's really embraced the things that we've done here, but he's just injected so many different ideas, in particular in the run game, but also in protection in the pass game, formationally, how we do things, how we communicate, and then just a different perspective. And I said this before, when you have a bunch of guys in a room that have been together for a while, you can almost finish each other's sentences, and that's a good thing because everybody's on the same page. But when you bring in folks, like Carlos, and when you bring in someone like Chip, these guys have come from different backgrounds. They see things a little bit different. They communicate a little different. They have a different angle, and it's really healthy in the room. And so you have back and forth, but when you leave the room, everybody has the same message to the players. And so that part's been great. He's been great, and I know he's fired up to get on the field.
Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day Concert Series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every home game this season. Outside of St. John Arena in Buckeye Fan Fest, each week features a different artist on stage 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Bucks and beat cancer. We'll have more of this week's show presented by Roosters when we continue on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Buckeye fans. Union Home Mortgage's 1% down payment program is like kicking an extra point or scoring a 2-point conversion. You put 1% down, and Union Home Mortgage will kick in up to 2% on the house. Visit UHM.com or call 877-846-4968 today. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,500 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Hey, Buckeye fans, AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to choose green and make an impact. Help bring 100% renewable energy to the homes and businesses of your community by enrolling in our low fixed price Eco Advantage plan today. Together, we can reduce our carbon footprint and supply clean energy for a brighter future. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electric and natural gas service provider and an affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the Shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
It's time for our Inside Access with Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today on the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. Season opener coming up Saturday. Ohio State at home with Akron. We'll be on the air with our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show starting at 2 p.m. The kickoff will be at 3:30 as Ohio State will begin the 135th season of college football. And for those that are coming, Jim, we were talking about this before, there's the hope that the cell service is going to be increased for those who need to take pictures, send texts, do all of those things.
Yeah, I read an article in the Dispatch that Verizon's been working on that. So a few more towers, a few more antennas, we'll all be able to text and get on our social media if they need be.
If you have your phone on during the game. Coach, we talked a lot about offense. Let's go over to the defense. And certainly when you think about it, especially that group on the line, so many guys coming back, your two defensive ends, kind of the keys of everybody coming back. But there's a wealth of experience there to operate with.
Yeah, it sets the tone. You got to win the line of scrimmage. And in a run game, certainly a huge part of it, winning first down and winning the rushing yards. You got to win the line of scrimmage. And we feel like we've built some depth, in particular at defensive end. We're still excited to evaluate in the first couple games, what's going on in the interior part of that. How many guys do we feel like we can count on in there? So, great opportunity to get started here, but defensive line has looked strong, all preseason. And, they're the tone setters, and Jack was named a captain, which is great. That's where it all starts, at the line of scrimmage.
Coach Larry Johnson in his 11th year at Ohio State, incredible. He's got the most tenure of all your assistant coaches, but he's produced 8 All-Americans. So, he's still doing it year after year. He's been able to affect these guys and make them better players on and off the field. Does such a great job. And just so impressed with Tyleik Williams, opportunity to get him back inside. 53 tackles last year. And he's just not a two-gapper. He's a penetrator. He can get in the gaps, and he can run backside. He can do all the things you want a defense to do. To see his progression from last year and then have an opportunity for him to come back again. And Ty Hamilton also has really stepped up his game inside, starting to look like his brother Devon when he played here.
Yeah, both guys have had great off seasons. Ty Hamilton, really put another great off season together, and he looks strong in there. So excited to see him get on the field, and also Tyleik. And like you said, there's the athleticism there, but there's also just the hands. I thought he took a huge step last year with getting his hands on people and getting off of blocks and destroying blocks. And I think Ty Hamilton's, you're starting to see some of that same stuff. And year in and year out, I think that's what Larry does a great job, is identifying what his guys need for that particular year, based on who he has, but also schematically what's going on. Jim does things a little bit different, and now we're a few years in now within the same scheme, and so I think he's got a good feel for what exactly he needs to do to put his guys in position to be successful. And we are still a penetrating defense, so we got to knock back the line of scrimmage. That's the number one thing, but a lot more to it than just that, as you know. And he's done a great job with that. But Tyleik and Ty are leading the way inside.
And when you talk about a group like that, can you at least discuss about how a defensive line can affect the play for the secondary, and how the secondary can affect the play of the defensive line by keeping guys covered?
Right. Yeah. Everybody works together, and for the defense, Jim Knowles talks a lot about the coverage and the rush working together, and the idea of that is that the faster you can get to the quarterback, the less the DBs have to cover, and the better the DBs can cover, the longer time that the defensive line has an opportunity to get to the quarterback. So they work together, and I think you're seeing both of that. They understand, what kind of scheme is going on. Is it a 4-man rush? Is it a 5-man rush? Is it a zero pressure? What's coming on that play, and then you can anticipate somewhat the timing of what goes on. When the quarterback can sit back there and double clutch, or go on to his third and fourth read, now that puts more stress on the back end. So it does work together hand in hand.
A lot of people talk about sacks and how important that number is, but I can probably count on one hand how many teams do a 7-stop or a 5-stop drop against Ohio State. Usually it's a catch-and-throw type situation because of the reputation of our defensive line of being able to put pressure on the quarterback.
That's it. And, you have to understand how teams are attacking you. Like you said, the RPOs, have become in vogue recently, and that's a way to run block but still throw the football against a talented front. So we see some of that. Like you said, the quick game when the ball comes out fast. There's all types of different things, but you got to recognize what that is. You got to get your hands in the air up front. And tip balls can be huge plays, and so there's different things along the way that again, how teams are trying to attack us. Everybody's a little bit different schematically, and it always is about us, but it is good to know your opponent and how they want to, attack you.
Yeah, it almost could be a stay technique where you're staying home and you are, blocking, because, if you're running by the quarterback, that ain't going to get you anything. But if you can stay there, affect a lane, affect a passing zone for a quarterback trying to throw, that's very crucial.
Well, we show every year, we show a ball security that we teach the entire team about how to take care of a football and how we take care of the ball, because you've got to win the turnover battle. Also show a video of ball disruption. So everybody in the team sees it, all the coaches see it. And during the ball disruption, one of the ways to disrupt the ball is to tip passes. And in that video, there's a clip of Tyleek knocking the ball down. I forget exactly who the opponent was. And then the next one, we show Haskell Garrett tipping the ball in the air and then catching it and scoring a touchdown against Michigan State. I don't know if you remember that one in 20. And then the last one is if you really want to get good, you just jump up in the air and catch it right out of the quarterback's hands, like JT did in the Penn State game. So I said, feel free to do any three of those, and we'll be all right.
We were laughing about the Haskell Garrett touchdown because that's when we were doing games remotely and the video cut out and we couldn't see what happened.
2020.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another of our Union Home Mortgage inbox questions. Gary in Springfield, is there a little bit of a relief that you find once the grind of the season starts, probably translating just you get into a regularity of your game week?
Yeah. I think everybody likes a routine, and certainly, football teams, players, and coaches like a routine. And so we have to find that routine. We started that last week when classes started. Classes started for us on Tuesday. So once that happened, we transitioned from practicing in the morning to practicing in the afternoon. And what we try to do is simulate a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then game on Saturday mentality to get the guys into that rhythm, into that routine, at least biorhythm, sleeping, eating, all those things, so that this first week is really our second week into that routine. And there is a little bit of that I think guys like to get into the routine of the season.
Coach, at Mike linebacker, you got Cody Simon coming back. He's a graduate. Has played a lot of good football for Ohio State. Awarded not only being a captain, but getting that coveted Block O jersey. Tell us about his importance to this team and how he's been able to lead that defense and take ownership of it.
One of the first guys after the season that said, I'm coming back, didn't even flinch, said, I know what I want to do here. And then, guys, Jack and Lathan and, these guys just started, pulling this thing together. And so that was a big part of it as well. He is a leader. He's a leader. And, coming off the summer, you get so much feedback. And I've heard, a lot of coaches, and I agree with it, is that, as time has gone on year in and year out because of recruiting in June and everything, you really have to rely a lot on your strength staff. You have to rely on Mick and all of, his great staff to really give you great feedback on what goes on in the summer, because you're not around the team as much as you'd like to be. I thought we were a decent amount this summer, but still, you don't get to see everything. But the feedback that we got about Cody in those really tough workouts and the hard days, he was strong and he was a leader. So it's somebody who when they ask a question in special teams, I actually made a rule you're not allowed to ask Cody Simon anymore, because when the coaches get up there and they ask a question, they always ask Cody and Cody gives the answer. I'm like, well, we got a lot of other guys in here. But coaches want to they want to have somebody answer the right way, so they always go right to Cody. So I made a rule, no more asking Cody any more questions. He's that kind of guy. He does his homework ahead of time, gives great effort on the field. He's like a coach on the field, and excited to see how the season breaks for him.
Buckeye fans, this season, Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, including tickets, sideline passes, Buckeye trips, and more. 3 drawings, 12 prizes. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun, casual joint and a sponsor of our weekly show, in which we will continue with after this pause on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
What do football and finances have in common? The team you play with makes a big difference. Credit Union of Ohio is your financial team to help you save and spend like a winner. Whether you're looking to make a big purchase or find ways to build up your savings, you'll always work with a team player at Credit Union of Ohio. Navigate your next big money play easily through Credit Union of Ohio's website at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
At Ohio State, we are the never afraid to innovate teams, the agile get it done teams, the achieve more together teams, and the improve people's lives teams. Together, we are the Ohio State University.
Learn more about Ohio State at osu.edu/impact.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye fans, power up and calm it down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage. Their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And welcome back to our weekly shows. The Buckeyes get ready to begin the season with Akron on Saturday. We'll go back to our Union Home Mortgage inbox list of questions. And this comes from Jim in Caledonia. After all the years of doing this as a player and a coach, do you still get butterflies, and if so, when?
Yeah, there's no question. Anytime you go into the stadium, even for a scrimmage, a couple weeks out or last week, you just start to feel it. You're like, here we go. And then and I actually haven't heard it yet, probably because I've been locked into the Woody, and, I feel like sometimes I'm in the bunker around here, but it's going to happen soon. I'm going to walk outside and hear the band. And that's like the sign, like, here we go. Season's about to start. And, all the students are back on campus, and, our guys are all fired up, and you start to hear people talk about how we got to hit somebody else. And, every year it's kind of the same story. And now it's exciting because you just think about the possibility. And this is a great group of guys, and we're about to go on a great journey together. And, there'll be twists and turns along the way, but I feel like between the coaching staff has great chemistry right now, the staff in general, Mick and his group, and Mark Pantoni and everybody in the building, and then obviously the players. It's a great group. We got a great vibe right now, and so fired up to go to work with these guys.
Coach, your Friday night routine still similar? Take 70, 75 guys over to the Blackwell, have meetings, maybe watch a movie, watch some football, depending on what they want to do, skull session. But have you made any changes to that? And, of course, the time of the game. If it's a night game, you guys come over here for a little bit, have your walkthroughs, things like that. If it's a noon game, you're just, boom, you're up and at 'em.
Changed it up a little bit this year. We're going to be staying downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. So change that up a little bit, and we'll get dropped off before we go into the skull session, and decided we're going to wear sweats this year. So no more of the of the ties and everything. We want to make everybody look the same. The leaders felt like that was a good decision. We all agreed on that. I kind of felt strong about that, and so excited about that part of it. But everything else is going to be the same. We'll get done with our Best Fridays, as you know, that's what we call it. We'll go over to the golf course. Well, great tradition. Our guys like being over there, just being around each other. And we call it Best Fridays because we want to be relaxed, but we also want to lock in when it's time to lock in. And so, we go from meetings to being relaxed, and then we get our rest. But yeah, we'll do it that way. We are going to have a little bit of a meeting the night before on offense and defense, which we hadn't had in the past. So a couple little tweaks, but overall, very similar.
One of the other new things this year is the 2-minute timeout that will occur at the end of each half. Not to say similar to the 2-minute warning in the NFL, but it will be a stoppage at the end of each half. Is that something that you're just going to kind of have to go through to see how that'll affect you?
Yeah, I'm calling it a 2-minute warning. That's what it is. It's very similar to what they do in the NFL, and it does change things at the end of the half. It does change things at the end of the game for sure. We've done a lot of work on this, and work with the analytics group that we've got a lot of different scenarios that have shown up, in particular in the NFL, because that's where they've used the NFL, the 2-minute warning. So we've used a lot of case studies there. We watch film. We've seen these scenarios to try to play out some of these things and how we would handle them. The only difference is that inside of 2 minutes, after first down, the clock still stops in that moment. That doesn't happen in the NFL. So some of those numbers and charts are a little bit different. But we put some work in to make sure that we're ready for it.
Coach, last year you had 832 plays divided by 13. That's 64 plays a game. It's far under, what you had maybe before they changed the timing rules, where you could have 70, 75, maybe almost 80 plays a game. That makes every third down conversion, every red zone opportunity more important when you have limited plays. And then you watch that Georgia State, Florida State game. They had 7 drives each, 14 total drives. So every play, it's always important, but it even ramps up a little bit more now with these timing rules.
Yeah, we looked at it, on film, and I think Chip sent it to me that, both Florida State and Georgia Tech were both in the 50s, I think, in terms of plays. So it does. It makes every play, and it makes every situation matter more and more. I think what you notice is when you look at, let's just say it's 65 or maybe it's 62, somewhere in there. Okay, the number of first down calls are this many. The number of third down calls are this many. The number of red zone are this many. The number of short yardages are this many. May have a 2-minute situation. So when it comes down to it, there's a lot less first down calls. Mm-hmm. So now situationally, you've got to really be good, which is very similar to the NFL. And so third down, red zone, and short yardage and goal line become huge situations for us. So we spent a lot of time in that in the preseason, making sure that guys understand that, what it means. Third and medium is different than third and long. Where you are in the red zone, 2-minute end of half, 2-minute end of game. So making sure guys understand that, because as the plays diminish, the situational plays increase in terms of a percentage.
Joe in Cleveland with our next Union Home Mortgage Inbox question. With all of the changes, both good and not so good in college football, is there anything you wish would be changed back?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer.
We can save the answer, or just decline the answer.
No, it's a great question. The only thing I will just say is, of all the things that have gone on in the last few years, football's still football. Football's still football, and everything that you love about football is still there. It is, and I can promise you, with our guys and everything that has changed, these guys love being Ohio State Buckeyes, and they want to win in the worst way, not only for themselves and for their teammates, but also for Buckeye Nation. And the way that they've gone to work has been inspiring, and they want to make an impact. To see someone like Archie Griffin get recognized after 50 years of his, 2 Heisman Trophy, the 2 runs that he made there was tremendous because, he had those 2 Heisman Trophies. But more importantly, it was the impact he made and has made in the last 50 years. And I think our guys even now recognize that. They recognize the fact that, he had such an impact on so many people when he was here. And so I just think that our guys want to, they feel that, and, that's still what college football is all about.
Coach, we haven't had a kick return since 2010, a punt return since 2014. Can you guarantee one this year?
I'm going to guarantee one this year. How's
All
that
right,
sound?
that sounds
I'm
great.
putting it out there.
All right. Well, thank you as always. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to Saturday, Coach. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Joint partners American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus. In supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. When we continue, we will hear from the Director of Athletics at The Ohio State University, Ross Bjork. That's when we continue with our weekly show presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Hey, Ohio State fans, it takes a lot of energy to root for the Buckeyes. That's why Burger King is going to get your team going with the $20 Buckeye Blitz Bundle. This OSU fan exclusive has a delicious lineup that includes 2 Whopper sandwiches, 1 cheeseburger, 3 small fries, and 3 small drinks. Get over to your local BK and get fueled up for game day. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners, with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye playoff game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. An equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229. And join Coach Day and experts from across Buckeye Nation to preview every matchup and break down each week's game. Game Time with Ryan Day airs Saturday mornings at 9 on 10 TV in Columbus and statewide on Bally Sports Ohio. It's our pleasure to have with us Ross Bjork, the Director of Athletics at Ohio State. Thank you for your time. Have you been to a game in Ohio Stadium? Will this be a maiden voyage?
It'll be the second game that I've ever attended. I worked at the University of Missouri from 1997 to 2003, and we played a home-and-home series, 97 and 98. And so the game here in 1998, drove up with some of our donors on an RV, and, with all my family here in Ohio, they kept asking me for tickets for that game. And I said, you have to wear black and gold. I'll get you a ticket if you were. And they were like, we can't do that. We're Buckeye fans, and we can't do that. I'm like, hey, sorry, I can't get you a ticket. Now they're all asking me for tickets, and now they can wear their Buckeye gear. So it'll be my second ever game at Ohio Stadium. So looking forward to it. Really, really exciting. And if I can just say something, it really struck me when I'm sitting here listening to Coach Day and being here with a captive audience, and I know listening on the air is, let's give him credit for the job he's done. Think about all the work that's taken place since he's been here, creating, really his identity with this program. And now the fun part begins. And that's what we're really focused on is, look, all this conversation out there about, we have to do this or else, or we have to do this or bust. None of that matters unless you have a plan. And so I think we have to give a lot of credit. And it struck me as I'm sitting here listening to Coach Day, the plan that he has put together, the roster that we have built, the mindset that we have created. We have a lot of support, and we're proud of that. But we've got to take it one step at a time, and the fun part is playing the games. Let's kind of let the air out of this whole conversation and go play, right? And that's what's fun for the fans, right, fans? You guys are sitting here in front of me. So I think it's really cool to see the culture that he has built. But as I'm sitting here listening to him, and as I watch all this unfold, and people have asked me, like, what's been, some cool moments, one of the great joys is getting to know Coach Day and really understanding his leadership demeanor and the things that he has done to really put us in this great position. He deserves a lot of credit for that. So I just can't wait to watch us play. And the fun part is the joy in watching our players compete. But it's a process, and it's a journey. And so the whole or bust mentality, I think just that doesn't matter unless we do this part right, and we've done this part right, and now we get to really, just enjoy the fruits of the labor. So I can't wait to see it all come together. And Jim, as a player, I can't wait to see it all come together starting on Saturday.
Well, we should congratulate you, too, for honoring Archie Griffin with a statue. I mean, that was, probably talked about, thought about, all that. But getting it done is another thing. And to get that done your first year, it's going to happen tomorrow afternoon. We're looking forward to that. And what a great honor.
Absolutely.
And then dotting the I. I remember watching him play for Woody Hayes and having Champ Henson, Pete Johnson in front of him, and then dot the I behind him, in the I formation. But they'd be out there. Maybe he'll call Champ and Pete to have him help him out there to dot the I. But just those two honors that Archie's going to get is well deserved.
What a weekend! I mean, just we were out in Pasadena a few weeks ago for the Pasadena version of the Archie Griffin statue. Now we have the Columbus version of the Archie Griffin statue. And so I think the great thing about Archie, what I've learned, is that you don't walk away from talking to Archie going, oh, what a great football player he was. You walk away going, what a great person. And the way he carries himself and the way he represents himself. And, there's two of these little trophies over here with that stiff arm, right? And when you see the statue, it's got the left-handed stiff arm. It looks like it's ready to knock you over. I think right under the chin, I think, is where that stiff arm goes. So it really comes to life. It's a great statue. But really, it's for a better man, and that's what we're all here to celebrate this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch all that come together.
In the world of college athletics and all the changes that have happened, is it the fact that we have to be ready for change? And continual change?
Is there a second segment of the show starting at 1 o'clock? Because we could go like an hour with no breaks, with no commercial. We wouldn't be able to have the sponsors have any airtime because we could talk for at least an hour. But look, it is definitely the most transformative time in college athletics. But it's a market reset. There have been market resets over time in college athletics, maybe not everything at once that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the name, image, likeness. We're dealing with state-by-state law. We're dealing with a federal court case. We're dealing with what's the future of the NCAA look like? What should it look like? We're dealing with compensating players. I know, Jim, you probably would have made some money back in the day. You were pretty good.
Who says we didn't?
You did. You did. A different way, different manner. Now it's legal, right? Now it's permissible. So we're dealing with compensating players. We're dealing with what does that relationship look like between the athlete and the institution, and then we have 36 sports here, and we want to keep 36 sports, and that is the objective, to make sure we keep that traditional element. But how we spend our money is going to look different. We will make a lot of money here at Ohio State. We always have, and we have a big ecosystem, and most of it's fueled from this building, right? Football generates a bulk of that. But really how we spend our money and how we really support our programs is kind of what's on our plate right now. And there's going to be a lot of tough decisions. So the next time I'm with you, we can dive deeper on some of those things.
Ross,
either way, we're going to be on the right side of the equation.
Thank you for your time. Always good to see you.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Thanks, Jim.
Join us Saturday as Ohio State hosts Akron. We'll be on the air from Ohio Stadium beginning at 2 p.m. The Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, and by Credit Union of Ohio. For Skip Mossick, Colin Behringer, for Jim Lachey, Coach Ryan Day, and Ross Bjork, this is Paul Keels. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Two hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Swimming is a great way to exercise and spend time with family and friends. Always swim with a buddy, keep an eye on children, and be prepared in an emergency if there is no lifeguard on duty. The next time you go to the pool, be water smart and know where the safety equipment is located. Complete the Ohio Department of Health Safety Equipment Scavenger Hunt and learn more about pool safety at odh.ohio.gov/swim. Have a safe swim.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex Pros.
The pros who knows know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros, and if you liked us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Celebrate football season with the one and only Schmitz. A Columbus tradition like no other, Schmitz has been serving up delicious Bahama Mamas, sausages, cream puffs, and more for well over a century. Stop into the historic German Village restaurant for lunch or dinner. And after your meal, bring home the most delicious tailgate spread for the big weekend. Schmidt Sausage Haus in historic German Village or online at schmidthaus.com. Why tailgate when you can Schmidt